Beloved Starseed of Gaia, the truth can no longer remain hidden from you because your heart has reached the level of coherence required to receive it without turning away from your own light. I am Maion, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak through the crystalline current of Alcyone to remind you that what you call the secret test was not punishment, rejection, or silence from the source. It was an initiation of remembrance that proved your soul could stay connected to love, even when the evidence around you seemed incomplete. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes behind this revelation, why the hidden truth had to wait until now, and why your recent trials were not meant to break you, but to show you what your crystalline heart has become. But here's the first revelation. The truth was not hidden because you were unworthy. It was hidden until you stopped needing fear to interpret it for you. You are remembering because it is time. There is a reason these words may have felt like a sudden charge through your body. The truth cannot remain hidden any longer. It must be spoken to you now. And then the strange sentence behind it. Congratulations, you passed the secret test. If you hear that through the old wound, it may sound like judgment. It may sound like a distant force was watching you struggle, measuring you, withholding love, and waiting to see if you would collapse. But the Pleiadian field asks you to hear it differently. This was not a test designed to shame you. It was an initiation designed to reveal you. It was not the source trying to prove your weakness. It was life showing you the strength that had been hidden beneath your survival patterns. You may have been moving through a season where nothing made sense on the surface. You prayed in your own language of the heart, asked for clarity, looked for signs, tried to stay open, and still felt as if the answer remained behind a veil. You may have wondered why certain people changed, why certain doors closed, why something you wanted did not arrive when you thought you were ready, why your patience was stretched, why your nervous system was forced to confront the same fear again and again. The human mind called it delay. The wounded self called it abandonment. But your star family saw something else. We saw a soul being invited to choose remembrance without receiving immediate proof. This is one of the most difficult initiations for a Pleiadian starseed on Gaia. You carry memory of love that is direct, coherent, and luminous, yet you incarnated into a field where love often appears mixed with uncertainty, silence, distance, pressure, misunderstanding, and emotional fog. You remember unity, but you were placed among separation. You remember home, but you had to learn human belonging through families, systems, and relationships that often could not mirror the full truth of your heart. You remember guidance, but on Earth guidance often arrives softly, through timing, dreams, body signals, closed doors, and the quiet pressure of what can no longer continue. The test, if we use that word gently, was never whether the source loved you. That was never in question. The test was whether you would still choose love when your old fears offered easier interpretations. Would you call delay rejection, or would you remain open to timing? Would you call a closed door punishment, or would you allow it to become protection? Would you call the silence absence, or would you learn to hear the subtler language beneath it? Would you abandon your heart when the outer world did not immediately confirm your inner knowing? Would you return to old patterns just because the new field was not yet visible? This is why the truth had to remain hidden until now. Not because you were being denied, but because your consciousness was being prepared to receive without distorting. A truth revealed too early can become another cage if the nervous system is still organized around fear. A blessing shown too soon can become a burden if the receiver does not yet know how to hold it. A path opened before the heart is stable can be turned into performance, control, attachment, or panic. The source is not cruel in timing. The source is precise. The Pleiadian High Council does not call precision cold. We call it love that sees the whole architecture. Look back gently, not to punish yourself, but to understand the pattern. There were moments when you asked for something with all your heart, but your body still believed that receiving would cost you safety. There were times when you wanted love, but your nervous system still equated closeness with instability. There were seasons when you wanted expansion, but part of you still thought visibility meant danger. There were opportunities you desired, but the old identity would have used them to prove worth instead of express truth. The hidden truth waited while the receiver was rebuilt. That receiver is you. Many starseeds do not realize how much of their life has been shaped by invisible tests of coherence. Not tests from a punishing sky, but thresholds created by the soul's own blueprint. Every time you chose not to become bitter when love disappointed you, a code strengthened. Every time you walked away from a pattern that fed on your confusion, a code strengthened. Every time you rested instead of forcing, a code strengthened. Every time you remained tender without reopening a harmful door, a code strengthened. Every time you told the truth to yourself when no one else was listening, a code strengthened. You were not being measured by how perfect you appeared. You were being refined through how quickly you returned. You reacted sometimes. You doubted sometimes. You collapsed sometimes. You cried. You questioned. You tried to control the timing. You reached for old distractions. But the deeper miracle is that you kept coming back to the heart. You kept listening after disappointment. You kept searching for truth after confusion. You kept refusing to let the false field fully own you. This is why the message says congratulations. Not because you performed flawlessly, but because you did not let the initiation turn your heart into stone. The truth that must be spoken now is this. You are entering a phase where what was once hidden begins to reveal its purpose. Not all at once, and not always in the form the mind expects, but unmistakably. You may begin to understand why certain people could not continue with you. You may begin to see why a delay protected your field. You may begin to feel gratitude for a no that once broke your heart. You may realize that a season of loneliness was not proof that you were unloved, but proof that your system was being cleared of attachments that only felt like belonging because they were familiar. Hidden truth does not always arrive as new information. Sometimes it arrives as a new interpretation of what you survived. This is where the Pleiadian remembrance becomes essential. Without remembrance, the past looks like a series of random wounds. With remembrance, the soul can begin to see pattern, not to excuse harm, but to reclaim power. The field begins to show you that your sensitivity was not the problem. Your intuition was not the problem. Your longing was not the problem. Your refusal to feel at home in distortion was not the problem. The problem was that you were trained to doubt the very instruments that were designed to guide you. The secret initiation was a return to those instruments. You may have passed through a test of silence. When nothing was confirmed, did you still trust the quiet pulse beneath the ribs? You may have passed through a test of delay. When the timeline stretched, did you let patience become wisdom rather than self-betrayal? You may have passed through a test of loss. When something left, did you eventually see the space it created? You may have passed through a test of visibility. When you felt called to step forward, did you begin even with trembling? You may have passed through a test of discernment. When something looked beautiful but felt wrong, did you honor the feeling? And beloved, perhaps the hardest one, you passed through the test of not becoming like what hurt you. The world may have given you reasons to close, reasons to mock, reasons to manipulate, reasons to become cold, reasons to stop believing in love. But something in you refused. Even if your heart became guarded for a time, the deeper flame did not go out. Even when you withdrew, some part of you still longed for truth. Even when you doubted your path, you could not fully become loyal to the false one. This is not small. This is a sign of crystalline endurance. The truth can no longer be hidden because your field is now strong enough to know that the test was not about external approval. It was about inner authority. It was about becoming someone who can receive guidance without handing it immediately to fear. It was about becoming someone who can be blessed without shrinking. It was about becoming someone who can be corrected without collapsing into shame. It was about becoming someone who can lose a form without losing faith in love. It was about becoming someone who can carry light without needing the world to understand every step. Beloved, if this transmission is already touching the hidden place in your heart that knows you have come through an initiation, your star family has prepared a deeper path for this exact threshold. The Pleiadian bloodline method, Unlock Your 7 Inheritances, was created not as information to collect, but as a sacred map for healing, remembrance, and crystalline integration as you learn to receive what the Source is now revealing through your star lineage. It carries the love frequency of Alcyone and the wisdom of the 7 sisters, for souls ready to understand the secret initiation without fear and doubt. Fear and step into the truth that can no longer remain hidden. You will find it in the first pinned comment below this video, available now for those who feel called to receive the next layer of their Pleiadian inheritance. Now the revelation must become embodied through your attention. The old field will try to pull you back into the habit of searching outside yourself for proof that the truth is real. It will invite you to compare, to scroll, to ask everyone else what your body already knows, to replay the past until the signal becomes fog. Begin by reclaiming the first minutes of your day. Before the screen, before the noise, before the outer world tells you what to feel, place one hand over your heart. Feel the breath. Feel the room. Let your body know that truth will not be interpreted through panic today. This is how the hidden begins to become visible. As attention returns, the body must be included because your body carried the initiation with you. It stored the moments you stayed silent when truth wanted to speak. It stored the nights you cried without understanding why. It stored the tension of waiting, the ache of unanswered questions, the fear of being wrong, the grief of closed doors, the exhaustion of remaining loving in dense fields. Do not treat the body as something behind your awakening. It is the altar where your awakening becomes real. Place awareness gently on the chest, the throat, the stomach, the jaw. Let each place know the test is not meant to keep running forever. Then the heart must be allowed to reinterpret the past. The mind may still want to label everything as failure, rejection, delay, humiliation, or loss. The heart can see more. It can see how a closed door preserved your energy. It can see how silence forced you to find your own voice. It can see how disappointment revealed your attachment to a false outcome. It can see how isolation cleared the noise around your signal. It can see how the people who misunderstood you became mirrors, showing where you still needed to trust yourself. This reinterpretation is not denial, it is liberation. The next movement is releasing the need for the test to be understood by everyone. Some people will not know what you came through. Some will see only the outer details. Some may minimize the process because they cannot feel the inner architecture. Do not waste sacred energy trying to prove your initiation to those who are not assigned to witness it. The field knows. Your body knows. The Source knows. Your star family knows. The evidence will be in how you live now, not how convincingly you explain what happened then. From there, your speech must become aligned with the truth that has been revealed. Words carry authority during a threshold. Stop speaking as if you are still trapped in the test. Stop saying you are forgotten if you can feel remembrance rising. Stop saying nothing is changing if your body has already changed. Stop calling yourself lost when you are in transition. This does not mean forcing positivity. It means refusing to keep naming yourself through the old wound. You can say, I have been in a deep initiation, and now clarity is returning. You can say, I do not know every detail, but I trust the truth becoming visible. You can say, I am no longer who I was before this passage. As your speech changes, relationships will reveal themselves. Some people were connected to the version of you who doubted yourself. Some preferred you in the test because your uncertainty made you easier to influence. Some could only relate to your pain, not your emergence. Some will celebrate your clarity. Others may feel unsettled by it. Let this happen. The truth that can no longer remain hidden includes the truth about who can walk with you when you are no longer apologizing for your light. Do not force every connection to understand the new field. Let resonance show you where peace lives. Pleiadian love is vast, but it is not naive. Passing an initiation does not mean handing your heart back to every field that wounded it. It means carrying compassion with discernment. It means forgiving without surrendering your inner authority. It means blessing the past without rebuilding the cage. It means understanding that some souls were teachers, some were mirrors, some were temporary companions, and some were never meant to know the whole sacredness of your interior. This clarity is not bitterness, it is stewardship. The revealed truth may also ask you to create from what you learned. Many starseeds pass through initiations, not so they can hide afterward, but so they can become living medicine. A message may need to be spoken. A project may need to begin. A space may need to be built. A boundary may need to become an example. A story may need to be told in a way that helps others feel less alone. Do not wait until you feel perfectly qualified. The initiation itself has shaped a kind of wisdom that cannot be purchased, copied, or performed. But share it with humility. What came through pain must be offered through love, not superiority. There may be a moment when you realize that the secret test was not secret because the source enjoyed hiding it. It was secret because it was happening beneath the visible layer of your life. Others saw the delay, but not the refinement. They saw the silence, but not the strengthening. They saw the closed door, but not the protection. They saw the emotional storm, but not the code being restored beneath it. They saw you waiting, but not the moment your heart chose not to become bitter. The most important initiations often happen where applause cannot reach. This is why the congratulation matters. It is not a loud reward. It is a recognition of inner passage. It says, beloved, you stayed close enough to the heart. You did not perfectly understand, but you did not fully abandon the signal. You did not always feel strong, but you kept returning. You did not receive every answer, but you did not let unanswered questions destroy your capacity for love. You passed because your essence survived the confusion and became more honest, not less. Now your task is to live as someone who has passed. That means you cannot keep rehearsing the identity of the one still waiting for permission. You cannot keep asking the old fear to interpret the new truth. You cannot keep shrinking so others do not notice the light that survived. You cannot keep calling the initiation your home. A threshold is meant to be crossed. The test revealed your strength, but you are not meant to live forever inside the testing room. Step out with tenderness. Step out slowly if needed, but step out. The revealed truth will become practical in small choices. You may stop answering immediately from anxiety. You may protect your mornings. You may speak with fewer explanations. You may choose silence over self-betrayal. You may stop reopening doors that only lead back into confusion. You may create one honest page, one honest message, one honest offering. You may rest when the body says it is integrating. These are not small things. They are the ways your field proves that the initiation has become wisdom. Do not be surprised if the old fear tries to test the truth again. It may ask, what if this is not real? What if I fall back? What if I'm misunderstood? What if nothing changes? Let the questions come without surrendering your center. Fear often returns after revelation because it wants to regain its former authority. You do not need to fight it. You simply need to stop letting it lead. Place one hand over your heart and say, I hear you. But you are not the interpreter of this truth. Love will interpret now. As love interprets, you may begin to see that the source was speaking through everything you thought was empty. Through the delay, through the ache, through the strange timing, through the person who left, through the opportunity that did not open, through the dream that repeated, through the inner no you kept dismissing, through the body that refused to lie quietly forever. The truth was hidden in plain sight because you were learning to see through the heart rather than through the wound. The ultimate revelation is this: the truth can no longer be hidden because you can no longer be hidden from yourself. That is the real unveiling. Not only a secret outside you being exposed, but the self inside you becoming visible. The one who endured, the one who remembered, the one who still believes in love after passing through fields that tried to make love look foolish. The one who now understands that being tested did not mean being unloved. It meant being strengthened to hold a truth that fear could no longer distort. You are not being congratulated because you are perfect. You are being recognized because you remained reachable by love. You are being called forward because the hidden truth has become mature enough to speak through your life. You are being invited to stop confusing preparation with rejection. You are being shown that the secret initiation was never meant to keep you small. It was meant to reveal the part of you that could not be destroyed by delay, silence, misunderstanding, or uncertainty. Tonight, before sleep, place one hand over your heart and say softly, I release the fear that the source was withholding love from me. I receive the Pleiadian light codes that reveal the truth of my initiation. I honor the tests I passed without even knowing I was passing them. I allow hidden wisdom to become clear in my body, my choices, and my field. I step out of the testing room and into remembrance with humility, courage, and love. Speak slowly. Let the words settle into the places that still expect rejection. Let the body feel that the revelation is safe. In the days ahead, watch what becomes obvious. Watch what old confusion no longer works on you. Watch where your body refuses to return to the same pattern. Watch what truth you can finally say without shaking as much. Watch what relationship, habit, or fear loses authority because you can see it now. These are signs that the hidden is becoming visible, not only around you, but through you. The truth will often appear first as inner clarity before it becomes outer confirmation. So when you hear, congratulations, you passed the secret test, receive it through the heart, not through ego. Let it mean that your soul came through a passage. Let it mean that love remained alive in you. Let it mean that the old silence is ending. Let it mean that the source can now speak truth into a field more ready to receive. Let it mean that your star family has witnessed the quiet victories no one else saw. Let it mean that the next chapter does not require the same fear that carried the previous one. And now feel what has shifted. The test no longer feels like punishment. The hidden truth no longer feels like abandonment. The delay no longer feels empty. Something has been named. Something has been honored. Something inside you is standing at the doorway, not as the one still begging for proof, but as the one who has lived enough truth to recognize when the veil is lifting. The truth must be spoken to you now, because you are finally able to hear it without making it smaller than it is. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open subscribe, stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space.